So if you guys don't know, I am streaming on twitch.tv, and I'm going to do all my recordings now when I do these Minecraft videos on Twitch first. So if you want to hear them first, or if you want to send me like some message, or you want to chat, I'll be doing these, and then later on I'll upload them to YouTube. So I'm still trying to figure out the settings for my PC to be able to record these things. But regardless of all that, how's it going, guys? It's been a while. Let me make sure I have chat showing. There we go. So I haven't been playing Minecraft probably in a really long time. So I've been sort of just doing my thing. I've been playing Fortnite a lot, actually. But anyway, I've been in this like sort of, I guess I've been in auto run. I've been running my life like as AI, I would say. Basically everything around me has been defined by other people, by other things, and I've accepted a lot of things. Like I've accepted roles that I play in my life and in video gaming. Like I accept that like Fortnite is like the thing that I'm interested in right now, and I've accepted, and then other aspects of my life I'm just sort of playing out the roles, and I feel like that's no longer interesting to me anymore. I feel like that's not my nature. So I'm on this path now to change all that, to go through and really dig deep and figure out what it is that I really want to experience in this world while I'm here. And I don't know what it really is. Like sometimes I wonder if there's any point to even thinking like that, or if there's any point to even trying at all. I think about that stuff and I'm not sure. I don't know. So here I am making another Minecraft video, trying to figure out really what it is I want to do in general. And I think Minecraft is a good place where I can meditate and think about things, and especially when I can chat with you guys about those things. I think there's a lot of, I think I'm missing this part of my life. I'm missing the whole thing of like trying to figure stuff out by myself. And I like being completely independent. Like I don't need to rely on anyone. I don't need anyone to like if there's something I need to know, I'm going to Google it myself. I'm going to figure it out myself, and I'm not going to ask other people to answer questions that I should know. But then there's like some people where I'm just asking, even though I know that I can Google the answer, sometimes I just want to talk to them. Sometimes I just want interaction from them, and I've noticed that. And that's something new to me. Whereas before, I didn't really have that. I really didn't care about, like wanting to chat with other people. And I think that's just like from me growing up, like not trusting other people and being a product of my environment. And to some extent, I'm still doing that. And it's evolved, actually. So I'm trying to figure out, like, what's this balance? Like what's the success formula? And maybe there isn't. Maybe there is no formula. Maybe it's just doing stuff. Maybe it's just like continuing to be a bot. Maybe that is the right path. Maybe I'm on the right path and I just don't see it. That could totally be, true as well. So I'm not jumping to any conclusions right now. Like I don't think there are conclusions to be had. So I'm just sort of doing my thing. And I really need to sit down and think clearly about what I really want to do. Because I feel like there's things that I assumed were moving in a certain direction and I was wrong. So like, and it doesn't have to do with any girls or anything like that. It's not like a relationship thing. It's more of like, it's a different kind of relationship, not like an intimate relationship. It's more of like different stuff that's happened and I'm trying to figure it out. So I think that for now, it's good to have a little like time to just play Minecraft and talk to you guys and see how things are in this realm, and I haven't done that in a while, so it's interesting. This is kind of cool. Do they have submarines and stuff now? I assume they do. Like a whole underwater world thing. Let's take a look. Let's see. There's just boats. What's this? I don't know what that is. Carts. Huh. Well. And I think that at some point I'm going to everything's going to make sense. Like all the pieces are going to come together. I feel like that's what'll happen. Is like at some point all the things that I'm thinking about and all the moves that are happening and all the reasons why things are the way they are will be revealed. And I don't think I really need to try and figure out what that is. I don't need to figure it out. It'll just appear to me and I'll just understand it. What are these? They're like llamas? Like llama guys or goats or something. I've had dreams too where I'm sort of like in a rough spot or like in a place where I'm not really fully welcomed. And then I end up barely escaping certain situations. And then I end up in like a really advanced laboratory and I'm sort of managing all of these different projects going on and it's really cool. And I really think that that's kind of the universe telling me like things will work out. It's just right now you're in this spot and like you need to know all the things that are happening right now too. Like you need to know that there's danger around every corner. You need to understand these things before we give you this other space where you can actually be who you are. Like you need the shadow before you get the light. In order to understand positivity, you need a mountain. In order to understand like immense positivity, you need to understand immense negativity. And that's where I'm at right now. And it's not, I don't think I feel depressed. I feel like I'm just not challenged right now by my situations, the situations I'm in. And I think that in time, like all is bound to change, because I won't allow myself to just sit in this space. I'm going to make stuff happen. I'm going to make my life the way I want my life to be, and it'll be all good. It'll be all gravy. But in the meantime, like, I'm human, so like I get frustrated by certain things, and I get like definitely feel certain ways, and it's okay. I think I totally understand it. But anyway, I think that one thing that I learned through Minecraft and doing all these videos is that it's really like interesting that I don't know, like so the one thing I learned from live streaming is that technology is essential. Like, people before Twitter, before Facebook, before all that stuff, like, people, I feel like, were way more anonymous, and there were way more there, like, things that happened in the world happened and no one drew light on them. Like, for instance, there's this pastor that was with Ariana Grande, right? And he was standing there, and they were doing the Aretha Franklin funeral, and he's like feeling up on this girl at the funeral, in front of everyone, in front of all the cameras. And I think that if it was just on the news, they might have made a big deal about it. But because it was social media, it like blew up 10 times. Like, not even 10 times, like 1,000, maybe even 1,000,000 times crazier. Like, it blew up. It went everywhere. Everyone's talking about it. And like, the guy was exposed, right? He was exposed for being who he is. Who he really is, like, and it's crazy. And like, Twitch and Twitter and Facebook and YouTube, well, in particular YouTube and Twitch, those are like, in some ways, are showing people how to be less toxic. Like, toxic people get exposed now, and no one thinks that being toxic in games is a good thing anymore. My computer, I need to figure out the settings for Minecraft, because my computer has these lag spikes, and eventually I'll figure it out. I do have a really nice PC now. Hey, what's going on? Signed. If you guys don't know, I'm on Twitch. I'm going to record all these on Twitch now, so that way, for one, you guys can interact in the chat, and two, you guys can just, I don't know, see it as I'm recording it, instead of seeing things. My Steam, I'll send it to you after I'm done streaming. I'll send it to you on Fortnite. I'm talking to someone in the chat. But I found a village. So aside from all the like doom and gloom of like what's been happening recently, it's not really that bad. It's just it's unfortunate like what happened, and it has nothing to do with YouTube or you guys. Hasn't like, so one thing that happened is I lost my partnership with Machinima, and I thought they dropped me a long time ago, but apparently they didn't. And it was just, hello buddies. I won't just invade. I don't know what you guys are doing in there. Oh, this is cool. Yeah, it has nothing to do with my whole YouTube thing or anything like that. It's just like some stuff that I'm working on. And I think that, so a lot of the big questions that keep popping up in my life now are like what do you really want? That's like the big thing, because I know that, I guess like I know the goals I want are much larger than the goals or the opportunities I've been presented with. But sometimes you have to ask for those things. Like you have to ask the universe like for stuff. You have to, if you don't ask for this stuff, if you don't start working towards what you really want, the universe isn't going to provide it to you, because it doesn't think that you're ready for all that. It's not just going to give you everything. You're not just going to be rich all of a sudden. You have to actually work towards it, and it could take forever. Like it could take a long time. It could take, but it's almost like it's all up to you. Like if you want to get a better job, better something, if you want to get more money, more V-Bucks, you've got to go out and you got to ask for it. You got to try and figure out a way to do it, and the universe will be there to help you. If it's in, if it's destiny, if it's fated. Oh, this is cool. So it's all up to you. Like you just gotta, like for me, so it's all up to me to figure this out, and I'll be okay. So I think that like I definitely have a goal in mind. My goal is to create my own business, my own company. And honestly, if I would have kept doing YouTube, like if I just stuck to YouTube, I could have gotten, to a place where I could just do YouTube. But YouTube's great, but it's not I've learned that it's not really my big goal. Like, how do you go down? Okay, there we go. Nice. It's actually really cool. YouTube is not like something that I think is long term. Wow, it is laggy in here. I should probably turn down a lot of these settings. I definitely have the render settings really high. I think like my PC should definitely be able to handle it. But yeah, becoming my own boss is my biggest goal, because I feel like when I'm working on a project that I've created and it's mine, I'll put way more effort into it. I'll be way more inclined to really stick to figuring it out and making all the stuff work. Whoa, it's getting really laggy now. Yeah, I might have to. I definitely got to figure this out, and then I think maybe there's like stuff in this cave, or yeah, here, let's turn it down. Let's do 9 chunks. That's good. There you go. There we go. It's much smoother. So I think that if you guys have, like, if you guys have goals that you're looking to reach, put them in the chat. That'll be your first step towards, like, comment them, and that'll be your first step towards asking the universe for what you want. For a long time, my goal was to find the perfect spot, like the perfect company where I could become sort of ingrained into the culture and grow and become, like, someone who's very important to that place. And then, the more I've explored that, like, I've spent years doing this, and the more I've come to the conclusion that that's too small of an ask. Like, and it's not that I've gone there and like it's failed or anything, because I could still do it. But I think that really what I want is to build that company and attract the types of people that I want to be around. But, that's I've got to start building I've got to start building ideas. The other thing is, like, when you have stuff in your head, I watched this movie. There's this movie about this girl who had all these like collection of love letters to all her crushes, and they were all like, they all had addresses on them. They all were stamped, and she put them all in a box. Like, she put them in a box, and she, like, had them sitting in a room, and she would read these books about falling in love and like your crushes coming to, to find you, and, basically like finding her prince sort of thing. And the interesting part is, like, she hid this box, and she would never wanted. It's kind of like a diary that you never would want. Like, you write letters to someone and you never want them to read, because these are just thoughts that you have, and it's not for them. It's just really for you. But then but in the movie, the girl, her little sister, finds that box and sends all those letters out. And it gets interesting. Like, one of the guys is gay. One of the guys, like, is with a girl. One of the other guys lives next door, but he was dating her sister. Like, but anyway, the point I'm trying to get to is, like, she had all these letters sitting in her room, just stagnant. And all she wanted was to have a boyfriend and to fall in love and all that kind of stuff. And she would get involved with other people's, like, relationships, and she would ask to, she was like a third wheel all the time, but, like, she never got the boyfriend. But then, like, these letters go out, right? And then, so she would never actually, so the girl's her little sister sends the letters out to all the guys. And it's just crazy. But then two of the guys actually like her. But, like, one of them is dating another girl, and it's, like, the girl's best, like, her, like, rival, actually. So that's cool. There's some, like, different kinds of fish. So it's the girl's rival, and like, the guy actually likes her, but he doesn't, like, they both, and then, so the guy wants the girl, like, the guy is kind of obsessed with the rival or whatever, and anyway, they end up like trying to create a fake relationship. One was so that the girl, the main character, could find this guy that she was dating, or that she wanted to date. And then the other guy, he just broke up with the rival of the girl, and he really likes her, so he wanted to make her jealous so she would come back to him. Anyway, they go in this fake relationship, and ends up becoming a real relationship. Like they actually get feelings for each other, and it's really it's pretty interesting. But like but she would have never have gotten like in a relationship if her sister didn't take the chance and put the girl out there like that. And it was just like, I think of that in my situation is like, I have all these ideas in my head. I have just like all these ideas. Some of them are good. Some of them, I don't know. Maybe they will be good if I work on them. But they're just sitting there, and I read stories about other people and their success stories, and like they've got a startup, and their startup and even some of them are some of my friends. Like my friend started a company that does searches for like it does a business search, and it tells you how great your business, how visible your business is online. And I thought, there's a lot of apps like that. Like no one's really going to like use that. Like how are you going to find users? And he just kept working on it. He'd been working on it for so long. And he was always like in these different spots. Like I knew he was going to go broke. But he ends up, now the company is blown up into a much larger thing. And he's actually like about to sell the company for a lot of money. So I think about that, and like he wrote these stories, right? Like he didn't just accept, like he didn't just accept the fact that like it wasn't an original idea. He just kept building at it. And sometimes you have to go through sometimes you have to mail the letters out to the universe in your head of your ideas, and they'll come back. You have to accept how they come back. The guy might, like it might be like the one guy who was gay, your idea is not going to work, or like the situation's not there for it to work. The circumstances. Or, you just have to, you have to accept all the different outcomes of the way things work. And I think that, I think there's something to be like, some ideas are not going to work. Some will like pose as like ideas that won't work, but then you start getting into the process, and you start getting into, learning more about what, you start learning more about, what it is that you actually, like your idea evolves into something that's different, and you just have to accept that. So that's where I'm at. I'm in this spot where I need to start mailing my letters out to the universe. And that's what I'm going to be doing. And I think that I know that everything is going to be all right. I know that like I'm really confident that I'll be okay. How do you use this again? Let's see. What the heck? There we go. And I think the other thing I think, oh, don't want to lose that. The other thing that I've thought about is that, so I don't know if you guys have ever thought of this. I mean, you had to have. But you know the movie The Matrix, where everyone's sort of stuck in this simulation. And I just saw this other movie called Ready Player One, and I was thinking about just the concept of those two movies, like that you're just sort of in a simulation, and that you're not really, you don't really have control over things. Like things just happen, or like things are happening and they've already been determined, and life is just you literally just experiencing all the things, all the choices that have been made for you. Or that there are many universes and you can access any of those different universes based on the decisions you make. That's another thing, is like all the games have been played out. But the one that, so you get to choose which of the versions of the universe that you want to be a part of. So say for instance, because everyone always thinks of the Matrix as like there's like one situation, right? There's like you and there's one path. But I think that that's true, but I also think that there is multiple universes playing out all at the same time. And you get to choose based on a combination of your mind and your karma and a whole bunch of other things, like which path that you want. But it's all up to you. So like if you do certain things, you're putting yourself in a different version. So if you do really good things for other people, you're putting yourself on the path in that universe where good things happen. Say you do all these good things and nothing good happens to you. That means that you're making decisions that you need to reevaluate your decision making, because you're not choosing the right version of the universe that you want. I think that's true too, and I think in the end, I think it doesn't matter which universe you go through. I think in the end, it is all just like a simulation. I think in the end, it is all just, you come to the universe, you come to this version of the universe, this frequency, to learn things that you can't learn in the other frequency, and then you go back, and everything is like Thanos says in the Avengers movie, and I think that's true, is that there's a finite amount of resources in this world, of like energy. And his whole goal was to wipe out, to keep it alive. But I don't think that's, I don't think you need to go that far to wipe people out. But I do think that that's pretty true, is that like there is just a certain amount of resources, of energy, of time, all that kind of stuff. I think that there is just a finite amount. And I think that it all just evolves and changes. I don't think that it expands or anything like that. I don't know though, but I mean, like, that's just my theory, at least in my little human head, with a very short amount of time to experience the reality that we're going through right now. And sometimes I think, like, did I just get did I get that perspective from a movie, or did I get that perspective, or did I just know that perspective? And when I heard it, it just made sense, and it reminded me that it reminded me of my self that is deep, deep down there. And it was like, yeah, that, that's true, but you still have bills to pay. You still have to go to work and you still have to do things. So, and it's interesting listening to other people like get so caught up in like the world and things. So and I think that's fine. I think that's the whole point, really. I just like to observe. Like, I like to observe things from this distance. Like, the more I can observe, the more I think, like, to me, that's the interesting part of the universe, is like that bird's eye view. And things happen. I think that eventually, I think that I'm learning a lot, actually, and I'm okay. Like, I'll be good. I'm in this weird space where I'm not like angry, and I feel like I'm just bored. I think you have to be very, very intellectual. I think you have to have a lot of brain power to be bored. I think bored people are the most intelligent people. People who are not bored, I feel like their minds are being filled with enough stigma, enough stimulant that they're maxed out, and they're just happy because they're maxed out. But if you're bored, even though your life is and stuff is, everything is complex, that means you have more room for more stimulation. You have more room for more stuff to think about, or your mind has expanded beyond what your current reality has, and you just need more stuff. Like, you need more experience. But if you stay stagnant, it's the same thing as like having these love letters and never sending them to your crushes. Having these ideas and never getting them out of your head. You have to do those. Like, any ideas that are in your mind, you have to do them. Even if they're bad, even if you know they're not going to work, you have to do them, because if you don't do them, one, they'll just get stagnant and sit in your mind and become evil. Or by evil I mean, like, in the end, when you're old and moldy, you're going to be full of regret. You're going to be bitter, and you're not going to enjoy your time. You're going to be like, I never got to do this. I never got to travel, or I never got to get a dog. I never got to, get that one car I liked. I never got to build a business and be rich, and I never got to go to, Japan or whatever. Like, if you don't act on those things that you want, if you never send those letters out, you're never going to get them. And that's where I'm at. Like, I have so many letters. And by sending letters, what I mean is, like, for me, building a business, I've got to start by figuring out what that business is. What am I going to give? What products am I going to put out there that people will want? What do I want? What do I want to really work on? What do I feel like I am super, super passionate about? And then I got to start planning it out, building it, build my business documents, come up with a plan, a 5-year plan, 10-year plan, figure out, and just start working on stuff. like start actually building stuff. And for me, it's development. So I've got to actually just start designing all my ideas out and start building them. So that's me sending my letters out to the universe asking for what I really want. And sometimes, and I think sometimes, like, I think about, I get bored of, sometimes I get, even when I'm in the process, like, so there's been some ideas that I've had where I started working on them and then I was too bored to even finish them. Like I just didn't like them. And that's good because then I knew that idea was terrible. I knew that I wasn't going to like doing whatever that was if I couldn't stand 5 minutes in it. But the other thing is, so there's a difference between something that you don't really have passion for, and then there's something that you do have passion for, but it's not working out for you. Those things are the ones that you're going to learn the most from. So like say Fortnite, for instance, if you want to become, like a Fortnite streamer, you can download Fortnite, play Fortnite, become really good. There's a lot of good players out there. And then you're like, okay, I need to make a living. So now I need to make content. I need to stream this stuff, or I need to win competitions. And then you go and you start, live streaming and no one's watching your channel, but you're really good and people are just going in your live stream to make fun of you and tell you that you suck or whatever at the game. There is some level of, like, you have to own that's just part of it. That's just part of growth. In the beginning, there's going to be people who will not allow you to, like, there's going to be resistance. And the reason why you get resistance on some of your ideas is not because you can't do it, but really because the universe is asking you, how serious are you about this idea? We're going to put you through, before we give you this idea and before we make your idea successful, we're going to test you. We're going to make sure that whatever you're doing is really what you want. And by that, we're going to test you, and we're going to see if you can make it through these tests. And if you give up, that's okay. And you can put that idea to rest, and then it doesn't become stagnant in your mind. Yeah. So I feel like in my world, I feel like there's some things that have gone stagnant for me. And I think that I've got to air them out. I've got to either burn them, but I've got to start trying them. Like, I've really got to spend some time. A really good thing is meditation. Like, when you meditate, you can, for one, it's really important for you to pull your mind out of all the stimulation that's happening. So like all of the social media, looking at your phone every 5 seconds. Like, I mean, I see people walking around, they don't even look where they're going. They're just like on their phone, and I can't do that. Or like, one thing that I have promised to not do anymore is I put my phone down when I'm eating. And the reason why, especially, so like lately I've been going to these really, because I've been really interested in like these really like just increasing my knowledge about all the foods and all the restaurants and stuff in my area. So when I go to those places, I don't spend a lot of time anymore on my phone looking at stuff. I put my phone in my pocket. I put it on silence mode, and I don't look at it the whole time I'm eating. I mean, there's been a few times where I wanted to take a picture of like some food or whatever, but even that, like, I don't want to do that much anymore. I mean, unless it's really like something, like if it's like I order sushi and it looks like it was made for, an emperor, then I'll definitely take a picture of it because I want to remember that. I want to remember and show my friends. But if it's like, I don't know, like a really amazing barbecue place, like barbecue doesn't look like, I mean, I guess like it can look amazing, but like a lot of times it just looks like meat. And I'm like, yeah, cool. But anyway, this is just me. Like, I will put my phone away because I want to experience the whole thing, like from listening to the waitress take the order to listening to the music and checking out all of the decorations that some person has spent a lot of money on. I want to see my friends and talk to them and like ask them questions about their real world life. And a lot of times I'll go to restaurants alone, like really nice places alone, because so I can experience the food without the distraction of talking to someone else. Like I want to like, it's like a dance with the food. It's like a silent dance with like this, my senses of like my taste buds and being able to smell the food and see the food and see how it's arranged and really think about, instead of just going to a restaurant ordering a Diet Coke with everything, I'll try water so that I can actually taste the food for what it is. Especially with sushi, I see people like they'll fill up their little saucer with like soy sauce, and then they'll order some sushi that has like a million things on it, that has, like it's like been fried and put like, has all kinds of what is that stuff, like sour cream or whatever they put in there, like mayonnaise and stuff, and like all these like sauces and sweet sauces, and it's like all put together and it's like all fried in a thing with tempura, and it comes to them like, and then they dunk it. And then the other thing is they grab it and they dunk it inside of the soy sauce and then they eat it. It's like, that's just so sad to see. Versus me, I like nigiri, because nigiri is literally just a slice of fish and rice. That's it. Because to me, that really tells me how, the experience of the people who are cooking, the sushi chefs, like, if they can make something that's 2 ingredients really amazing, then that to me is like craft art. It's like it is the thing that change, that like, it's their art. It's what I came for. It's the dance that I came for. So that's, that's sort of what I enjoy. And I think that's also a big part of like of asking the universe for what you want, is like being able to remove yourself from all the distractions and take a few moments to just sit there and think things through, like on a deeper level, like what is it that I really want. And I think meditation is what I just described with like the sushi, is like you're clearing out all the soy sauce and all the sauces and all the fried stuff, and you're just getting down to the bare essentials, which is literally just getting down to you and like yourself being in a clear state of mind, not tired. When you meditate, you shouldn't be tired. You shouldn't be over hyper, like filled with like caffeine or anything like that. You shouldn't be hungry or full. You should almost feel like nothing. And you sit there and you just observe your thoughts. You just observe yourself. You observe how, what is distracting you. Because as you observe those things, so like if there's something on your mind, that's not a good time for you to meditate. Because the whole goal of meditation is to, like, if there's something on your mind, I mean, you can meditate, but your whole meditation is going to be about observing those feelings and observing like what's on your mind. And how do you get those things out of your mind? That's going to be like, I feel like that ruins it versus like meditation where there's nothing on your mind and there's nothing you're thinking about is like bliss to me. That's like the actual meditation, is like when you get to the point where it literally is nothing. Like it's literally you're not thinking of anything. You're not imagining anything. You're just there. You're just existing. And I feel like that's a really good spot to start from. Like after you've sat and done that for at least 30 minutes to an hour, like 45 minutes, I guess is a good amount of time to just sit there and stare into space and observe your thoughts until your thoughts disappear and there's no more thoughts and you're just sitting there. That's when your meditation starts. And then you're just meditating and experiencing pure experience for 45 minutes. And then you will have a clear like mind to start from. But in order to get to that meditative state, you have to go through and do all the ideas in your head. You have to do everything that you're sitting back waiting on. It could take years for you to get to that meditation, to be able to meditate once. But then once you meditate, you figure out that it's been there all this whole time. Like you've been able to meditate this whole time. And it's literally been so easy. It's the easiest thing you could do. But because your mind was full of things, because you've complicated things, like that doesn't become clear anymore. And you can't get there unless you clear those things out. And it's funny because something like meditation is the most basic, like uninteresting thing you could do. It literally is the most uninteresting thing you could do, but that's the same thing that, people who appreciate sushi, like nigiri, like actual sushi, understands the difference between the crazy nigiri, or not nigiris, sashimi, the stuff that's like Las Vegas rolls and California rolls and all that. Like the people who enjoy that kind of sushi, and then the people who enjoy the nigiri and like just, and I'm probably messed up. I think sashimi is actually what I'm thinking of too. Sashimi and nigiri, I think. Like the people who enjoy those two things, where it's like just basically either you're just eating like a strip of fish, of raw like sushi, or like nigiri, where it's just sushi and then rice. Rice is like another thing where it's like the most uninteresting food, but it ties everything together, right? So like even making rice, that's half of the whole like piece of nigiri. Like in Japan, they train 10 years to make that rice. It is not something you can just, you throw in your little rice maker and then it pops out and it's perfect. Like there's a whole process to making real sushi rice. And then like selecting meat, going to the fish market and like really understanding what makes good fish, what makes a good salmon, what makes a good tuna, what makes, good albacore, whatever. Like understanding that is on a whole nother level of skill sets. And when you combine those two, now you have to learn how to do business and how to sell it, how to get customers in the door. That's another giant skill set. You've got to hire someone who can build you a store and who can go through and build an experience for your customers, whereas like they go in the restroom and they feel like everything's super clean, like they feel like they can trust the fish that you're cooking them, because it is fish. It is like there's a smell and all that kind of stuff, and if people smell certain smells around fish, they're gone. You've got to be clean. To be a sushi chef, you've got to be super clean. You've got to be the cleanest restaurant in your state. I mean, so so that's where I'm at, like, and I think that I'll live stream more for you guys, and if you guys want to come chat with me, I'm at twitch.tv/GFXLab. I'll put a link in the description so you guys can check it out. And when I'm filming these, OBS finally started to work for me with Minecraft, so I can actually record and stream at the same time. I've been wanting to do that. I've been wanting to find a way where I can stream and record, and now I found the perfect way to do it. So let me know how you guys. Let me know about your thoughts. Let me know about like the letters that you want to send to the universe. What is it that you really want? And let me know if you've started working on that and how it's going for you. Thanks for watching, guys. And like I said, if you guys want to chat with me, and I think it'll be a lot. I think this is gonna be a lot more fun for us. And it's very obvious that you guys want Minecraft, and because when I post Minecraft, I get a lot more viewers than when I post other stuff that I really enjoy. But that stuff I'll learn how to make that stuff work too. But until then, hope you guys have an epic day or an epic night. Please what was I gonna say? I don't know why I said please, but anyway, if you guys like this, let me know by putting in the comments, liking it, doing all that kind of stuff. You guys already know what to do. You guys have been on YouTube long enough. You're OGs like me. Alright guys, I'll catch you later. Peace out.